Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Indicator Overview series, where we take a deep dive into how to use every indicator in the Trading Apologist TradingView Indicator Suite. Today, we're covering closing hour tide and closing hour pulse. While they are separate indicators, they're meant to work together to answer one question: what is smart money actually doing? They ignore everything except for the final hour of each trading day when institutions do their positioning and turn that into a read that you can act on, often 1 to 3 weeks before it shows up in the price action. These are also part of the free indicators available to anyone with a TradingView account, alongside TA moving averages, which is our other free indicator. All indicators beyond that come with Patreon membership, depending on your tier, and Patreon membership also gives you the best overall deal, as you get discounts on other indicators and our different market services and web tools, alongside all of the Patreon content, the market tools, Discord access, our live calls, and so much more. But if you don't want to subscribe and you just want to pick up the indicators individually, you can do that via tradingapologist.com/store. In addition to this video content going over each indicator, we also have detailed written user guides, which you can access at the top of the community section at tradingapologist.com/community. So let's get into the charts to read TA closing hour tide and closing hour pulse. All right, starting here with a blank chart, and we're just on the SPX to start, because closing hour tide and closing hour pulse, they're really meant for the main indices or larger assets in the market with a lot of liquidity. They are not intended for things like crypto that trade 24/7. We need that closing hour within each session. So go up to indicators, and if you type in TA closing, and you will see both of them pop up. And I'm just going to click on these to add these to the chart. But if you hit the favorites button, then they will be saved to your favorites and you don't have to look for them in the future. So we'll add one and add two. And these are both by Trading Apologist. That's how you know they are for me. And if you click on my profile, you will actually be able to access all of the other indicators under scripts right here. And this is an easy way to just click through and add all of these to your favorites if you want them to show up in your TradingView. Okay, so now we have them added to our charts, and I'm actually going to turn off myself for this demo so we can just focus on what's going on the screen here. So first, let's just focus on closing hour pulse, and I'll close down closing hour tide, and we'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see the full read. Closing hour pulse shows us the trend of institutional flow via this red and green line. The last hour of the session, which is 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, is when the institutional desks do their positioning for the next day. Retail generally dominates the open, institutions dominate the close. So this tool, it watches only the last hour and ignores the rest of the day to give us a feel for that end of day positioning. It's built so every session's closing hour gets scored at +1 for an up close or -1 for a down close, weighted by that hour's volume versus the normal volume, and then that's summarized over a rolling 90-day average of sessions. That is this pulse line, the red and blue line. Rising means accumulation and buying the close. Falling means distribution or selling the close. And the blue line right here is the S&P 500 as a baseline. We'll get into the settings and how you can change that. But here you can see that the key is really the pulse line, the red and green line, versus the normalized price comparison line in the same pane. If we are moving together like we were in this uptrend in April into May, that is trend confirmation. We have institutional support behind the move. Now, the important signals to pay attention to are the two divergences. So if we have the pulse line rising, as we did right here in February, while the price is falling, this is showing us hidden accumulation. And as we were talking about with this often front-running the price action, this was front-running the price action by almost 5 weeks before we bottomed, as we started moving up. And then at the end of March, beginning of April, we really started seeing price catch up to what the institutions had already been doing since the middle of February. Now, the inverse is also true. Right here, starting in late July, we saw institutional distribution, and that has continued even after we had this pretty impressive move up in the S&P 500. And this may well be foreshadowing some weakness that we have to anticipate this fall. So this is giving us a signal of hidden distribution, selling into strength, where the other one is showing us hidden accumulation, buying into weakness. Traditionally, and I hate to say this moving into the fall, but these have led to multi-week trend changes. And when we do cross this golden line right here, this is a moving average, the cross of the golden line really marks the regime turning. And as you can see, by the close we got on Friday of this week at the time of recording, which was August 21st, we are getting that exact thing where we're crossing the moving average, getting the regime turning negative. And if you do all want to see this all in one place, the table down here gives you the entire read at a glance. And right now we have strong bear strength in terms of the strength read. And we are below that moving average right there. And you can get the flow score and everything else. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this is meant to be read on the daily chart. If you flip it to the 4-hour chart, you are going to get an error signal here letting you know that it is not meant to be read there. But you can also view this on the weekly chart. The weekly chart averages the 5 days of every week and gives you that read, and you can see how we're getting something similar here. You can also, in settings, you can change this to just view the weekly read based on the Friday session. I would suggest that this year, 2026, hasn't been the best environment to do that because we've had geopolitical conflicts with Iran and other things that have caused the market to be a little bit cautious and defensive moving into the weekend. There are other periods in markets where this can be a helpful read to just look at the Friday, but by default, this averages the 5 closes of the week into one read at the end of each week, and I would suggest that right now that is the better way to view things. Okay, and the last thing to discuss would be the settings. So if we go into the settings tab right here, and by default, the blue line is the S&P 500 because that's traditionally how this closing hour read has been read by market participants. But if you want to override that with another symbol, you can click right there and you can search for whatever you want to amend that blue line. Also, if you don't want to wait the last hour by volume when it's not available, I would suggest that this is the better way to get a read. You can change that right here. And on that note, there's actually one important thing. The SPX doesn't give you a good volume read. So instead of SPX or NDX, you would want to go with SPY or QQQ as your main symbol, and then you will get the more accurate volume read. So we'll just stick with that right now. And then the last thing to mention, if you want to change the look back window, we have it to that 90 sessions, so looking back 3 months. I think that's a good way to view things, giving you 1 quarter of price action, but feel free to dial that in. And then if you don't like the red and blue, it's too much of a Christmas color for you, you can just change it to a solid color. But I like having that visual of accumulation or distribution based on each session. The show pivot markers, if you don't want this, it just shows you a major turnaround point as we had right here on the 21st of May. And if you don't want that, just uncheck this box and that will go away. And then when we have price divergence zones, you can maybe see this little bit of a transparent box right there. If you turn that off, we will lose that highlight zone, the price action, and the end of day pulse read will display slightly differently. I like keeping it on just to point that out to me, and you will also see the positive areas right here. You can change your line colors and all that. And the very last thing I forgot to mention, if you don't want the readout table, you can turn that off. And you can also change the position if you want it on the bottom right, say instead. Okay, so let's move on to the companion chart, closing hour tide, which shows us how hard the flow is leaning bullish or bearish. It uses the same engine as closing hour pulse, but poses a slightly different question. The pulse shows us the trend of the closing hour flow, and tide compresses that into a -100 to +100 oscillator weighted towards the last 5 to 10 sessions. So it answers how committed is the bias lately to the bullish or bearish side. So green and rising above 0, which we haven't really had during this period of consolidation, but you can see we actually had green and rising above 0 when we had that divergence right here before that March bottom. This is showing net buying into the close, and red or below zero is showing net selling, as we have had for the last couple of weeks, and we have that score right there. Now you'll notice we also have this green zone and this red zone, and they land at 18, plus 18 or negative 18. So once you get into those zones, that is when you should really start paying attention. Negative 18 means committed selling, and plus 18 means committed buying, which we really have not seen for several months. And if we ever do get past 50, which we have not recently, but that would be showing you very strong, heavy one-sided accumulation, and the inverse is true on the negative side if we ever drop below 50 down here. Those would be, I would almost consider those mean reversion style events where everybody has loaded so heavily onto one side of the trade. If we are just in this plus 18 to negative 18 area, I would consider this actually fairly balanced, which is why we generally keep the candles here gray. It's meaning that we don't really have an edge or that leading read on the market. And again, this is one of those things, just like closing hour pulse, where you'll get the signals a couple of weeks ahead of time, where here we saw this at the beginning of March, and we did not turn until the end of March. Right now, we're getting this strong distribution, but price has still remained relatively in a sideways flag kind of range. So when we're getting these reads in the gray area at positive 18 to negative 18, we have to look for other things in the charts, other indicators, price structure, to give us a sense of if we should be leaning bullish or bearish. And the strongest single read we can get is by bringing these both together. If we are getting a drop in price action, like we had here in this March example, and we are seeing the pulse line beginning to accelerate, while we are also seeing tide move above 18, showing us that accumulation, we have confluence across both these signals, and it won't tell us exactly when, but it tells us that we should be paying attention for a reversal in the price action. Just like right now, where we don't necessarily have a divergence with the line because the price action's leaning down a little bit, but we've been seeing this move negative for quite some time, and we had this divergence period back here in July, and now we're seeing this on tide as well. We should be a little bit cautious, and we're also moving into the seasonally weak period in September. So again, use this on the daily time frame, or you can also look at it on the weekly. I think the daily read personally is the most helpful, and you want to use liquid US listed names with a real closing hour. So we'd be looking at the SPX or SPY, NDX or QQQ. And again, SPY and QQQ are preferable because of the volume read that's integrated there. Or you could use it on large cap stocks. That would really be the sweet spot. This is a session structure tool, so it's not meant for crypto or anything that trades 24/7. No closing hour means you don't have a signal. Okay, so that is it for how to read TA closing hour tide and closing hour pulse. If you do have any further questions or suggestions, we are all ears. You can reach out if you're not part of Patreon on the website under the contact tab, or if you are part of Patreon on Discord, we have a dedicated section for all the indicators and web tools where you can get indicator support in that channel, web tool support in that channel for things like the AI trade desk and TA terminal, etc. And if you have suggestions of different features you would like to see integrated, there's also a section for that. We love your feedback on these tools because we are continually looking to sharpen and refine them to help our own trading and make these the best possible resources for all things markets. So that is it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. This isn't financial advice. Past results are not indicative of future performance. Do your own research.